Is it really humour, or are you just racist? Dark humour and humour in general is very subjective. What some people find funny won't be funny for everyone, just like something I find funny might not be funny for my brother. Humour is subjective. It's so different. Everyone has their own opinions on humour, and that's why dark humour is very spoken about in today's generation, because a lot of things don't go anymore. A lot of things that used to go in the past don't go anymore. For example, race jokes and sexism and all these ideas of jokes on a taboo don't really go anymore because it's such a serious situation, and sometimes it's a good thing. I think I spoke about this in my Mr. Beast video about Twitter being very hypersensitive. For example, some things are okay to say because there's no underlying seriousness or anything to it, yet people will still come at you. With dark humour, there is a hint of seriousness to it. There's an underlying hint of seriousness to it. Not because of the joke being serious, so the people believe in what they're saying, but because the topic they're talking about is usually true. That's why dark humour is almost like making light of an agonising situation. It's making light of something that is so dark. For example, police brutality jokes. Everybody knows police brutality is a real thing. So when they're making jokes about that, they're trying to bring light to that situation. They're trying to say that, yeah, we know it's true. And that's why we kind of find this joke funny, because it is a true situation. It's a true topic to talk about.
I mean, I'd be scared to talk to the police when I'm sleepy. They fuck around and get the wrong ideas. Oh my God. That nigger was on PCP, Johnson. I had to use necessary force. You saw him. No paperwork. Just sprinkle some crack on him. Let's get out of here.
I personally don't find dark humour jokes about race coming from somebody outside of that race as funny. Because I've experienced racism myself, I just don't find that funny, and that's why, again, it's subjective, because I find some dark humour jokes funny and I find some not funny. Again, some people might love race jokes. I feel like it's all about context and timing when it comes to a dark joke. If you're making a death joke about someone who's just lost a loved one, then you're a bit stupid, because that's not how humour works. That's just patronising that person rather than making a joke to lighten the situation. Humour is all about lightening the situation and making it something that's good, because as humans, we need to have a laugh. Hormones are released and chemicals are released when we have a laugh, when we are laughing, when we're happy, and that's what makes us happier as humans. So laughing and humour is such an important thing. You never want to make a joke on someone's expense. For example, if it's completely personal, if you're targeting a joke at that person, then it's on their expense. If you're making a generalized joke on something that's kind of a serious situation on hand, that's when dark humour kind of kicks in more, because then you are lightening the situation on a serious topic, and you know the topic's serious. Dark humour comes from a shock factor, comes from something that shocks you a bit, takes you back, and you're like, did you just say that? That's what dark humour is. And so for a lot of people, dark humour is their only type of humour. For a lot of people, they don't believe in dark humour. They don't understand it. They think that it's too serious. And I guess if you are that serious where you can't find any dark humour jokes funny at all, I think that's what kind of causes your own self-pain. That's where you get stuck in this destructive world where you don't find humour in dark situations, because the only way you can lighten yourself is from finding humour in that situation. Just because somebody makes a joke doesn't mean they don't take the subject of that joke seriously. And just because somebody laughs at that joke doesn't mean they don't care. Although I've said here that humour is subjective, that it's real, that it's just a joke basically, it isn't always the case. Now, what I find a lot recently, and what I've noticed a lot, which really gets me angry, is the fact that people will make a statement. This could be about racism, about somebody's race, about police brutality, but it's a statement. It's not a joke. And when you pull them out on it, they say, it's just a joke. It's just dark humour. No, it's not. It's not. If you're making a statement about something, it is completely different to making a joke. A joke is where you can sense that underlying humour behind it. You can sense that, okay, this is okay. This is kind of like cheeky a bit. It shouldn't be said. It's a taboo. But you know what? I'm kind of getting a sense of humour from it. If you're making a statement, you're stating the obvious. You're stating what's already happened. You're stating something that has happened. For example, a race joke. You're stating this person's race. You're stating their history. There's no joke behind it. And pulling it off as a joke when you see that people are getting serious doesn't work like that. I mean, people would probably say, oh, haha, it was just a joke. Oh, thank God. But it doesn't work like that. It's like people are trying to find loopholes around stuff to finally say what they actually think. Dark humour has become this scapegoat for people to let out how they really think and then just place it under dark humour. I feel like dark humour is no longer what it kind of used to be, where it used to be literally dark humour. Now it's people trying to, and I guess maybe it always was, but it's people trying to get away with things by placing it under dark humour. That's when things are different, because I don't mind dark humour. Like I said before, I don't really like humour about race coming from someone outside of that race. But with other topics of dark humour, because dark humour just isn't one thing, it's so many topics around it. And I don't mind that. Like the same with other people, I don't think anybody will get angry with dark humour. There will be one joke that people will find funny. Just like when you go to a comedy show, a lot of comedy shows use dark humour and you laugh. Maybe that's because you're conforming to everybody else and everybody else is laughing, so you laugh, but you will laugh at that situation. It's only the people that make a statement, make something that they truly believe, there's no joke behind it at all, and will put it down to dark humour when they realise that they've been called out for it. That's when it's becoming worse. It's the same with the people that might laugh with the intention that this person understands me. Like, it's like that intense of, wow, oh look, we're both racist. I feel like you can kind of understand a person by the way they laugh and what they laugh at. If they're laughing at a statement which isn't a joke in the slightest, then they are probably questionable. But if they're laughing at a joke that clearly is a joke, then it's completely different. It's the same with how you've probably seen in movies all the time. One person, there'll be three people there, let's say. One person will make the joke, another person will laugh. Another person will try carry on with that joke, and both people will go serious and they'll just look at him because clearly they're taking it too far. That's the difference between dark humour, which the first person made, compared to a statement which isn't humour that the second person made, because that's what they actually believe. They believe what they are saying. When you believe what you're saying, it's no longer humour. When you want to get your point across about something that annoys you about, like racism and hypersensitivity and things like that, then it's not humour. You're getting your point across and you're putting it down as dark humour. That is just my personal opinion. I don't mind dark humour, but I hate when people use dark humour as their scapegoat. If you're racist, just be racist. If you're sexist, just be sexist. You will probably get hate for it, but don't act like you're doing it just for the funnies. Doesn't work like that. What are your guys' opinions? Do you think that dark humour is only dark humour, that nobody uses it as a scapegoat? What do you guys think about it? What do you think about dark humour in general? Because a lot of people don't like it. Some people might have their whole humour might revolve around dark humour. And some people might be a bit different to that. They might not like dark humour at all. Like, I know a lot of people don't like certain jokes in dark humour, and that's okay. It's subjective. It's what you like and it's what you don't like. It's what somebody else might like and what somebody else might not like. Certain topics people might not want to speak about as much as others.